Graham, we were just having the debate. Linehan.
Linehan.
I had it right the first time. Damn it, Ben. You should have said so. Our good friend Graham Linehan, who I haven't had a glass of wine with for quite some time, but he's been trotting the globe, and we had a huge reaction to him when he was out here, particularly talking about his experiences in the culture wars and with cancellation. Graham promised before he left, or he went to Aussie, I think, and was gallivanting around there, to check in from time to time in Britain, and this is the first of those check-ins. Graham, lovely to see your smiling face again. Look, first up, these riots. Boy, if you believed everything you saw on the internet, you are living in an empire in decline and fall, and there are race riots in every city, and it's not safe to go outside. Is that true?
Well, I've just come from the outside, and I didn't have to, run home. It seems quite calm out there, but I believe there's rumours of riots starting in various places. I think in one place, a group of anti-fascist people have turned up, and no fascists have turned up. So it's all very confused, and unfortunately, it's getting the same response that we've been seeing since around 2018, where the kind of very comfortable, very privileged media elite are saying that everyone who is expressing worries at the moment
is a fascist, bigot, Nazi,
is a fascist or bigot, yeah, and they're not really kind of taking into account the complexities of the situation. And anytime you try and bring up the complexities of the situation, you are, jumped on as a racist or a fascist. But a very good thing happened today, which I thought was significant. The man, I know you probably know about the terrible tragedy that happened last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago now.
The three girls, the stabbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But one of the heroes who took him down gave this great interview where he basically said, the reason it's all kicking off now is because of a situation that's been in place for a while, and it needs to be addressed. So the fact that someone, you can't really criticize this guy. He actually risked life and limb to save some girls. The fact that he's said this, I'm hoping it will lead to, people being able to speak about this problem, and it is a problem, with more security.
Because it's no use saying that there's not an issue here and everyone's fascist. This is happening in a context, and in a context that's been the context for quite some time, and that people have been saying you can't keep going on like this because these tensions are going to bubble over and they're going to explode.
Yeah, and we saw, we've had these kind of anti-Semitic marches, although it would be unfair to call everyone who was at those marches anti-Semitic, but there were some extremely anti-Semitic elements to recent marches in London, and there was never anything like the level of horror from the middle-class gatekeepers as there is now. And it's just not, it's not useful, because the more you suppress the conversation, the more you sit on it, the more frustrated people are going to get. And as the gentleman the hero who stood up to that guy said today, it could have been anything that kicked this off. It's basically a tinderbox, and it needs to be addressed. There's a few people here who shouldn't be here, who are hate preachers, who are calling for the death of people who don't go along with their views, and that's not integration.
Yeah.
So there are things to be discussed, but unfortunately, the media class, same media class which cancelled me, has done that thing that we're all familiar with. They've roped the conversation off, so you cannot talk about it. Yeah. And the longer it goes on that you cannot talk about it, the more dangerous it's going to get.
Last time we spoke, there was a different Prime Minister in Britain, a different government. How's Kier Starmer going? And this is, I suppose, a test for him.
Yes, it very much is. He's been thrown into a crisis days into his administration. My feeling is that I think he's going to be, this is going to make or break him, but he's singing from the same playbook as these kind of privileged media
wokesters
types.
Yeah,
as the wokesters. It's all it's all one way, and he's refusing to meet the concerns of all parties in this. He's right to take a strong stand against criminal damage and things like that, but there is, I think he is going to have to address. I mean, his nickname at the moment is two-tier Kier, because he's been accused
of the two-tier policing. We've actually got a similar story bubbling on in New Zealand at the moment about whether or not our police have a special. There are no hate speech laws in New Zealand, but the police have been trained to recognise hate speech. And then everyone's asking, well, if it doesn't exist, how do you get trained to recognise it? And also some suggestion they have a little thing called the Hate Hub, where they just take a note of people who've said naughty things, which sounds a bit Stasi-like. Graham, it's Olympic season here in New Zealand, so we spend most of our time watching people not quite make finals who get silver and bronze medals, and then we look for a data set that makes us the most successful Olympic country in the world by population, or population compared to number of sheep and everything. But the other story that's absolutely dominated the Olympics, and I know you all have a position on this, the male/female boxers and the Olympic Committee's absolute refusal, it would seem to me, to answer the question or even pose the question, what is a woman?
Yeah, it's it's one of those moments, Sean. I have them every so often. I'm extremely naive, and I always think, well, this will be the thing that shows everyone what's going on, and this will be the thing that makes everyone go, hang on, we got to talk about this seriously. And it just never happens. And what we've seen now for the last week and a half, I think, is a born male, who went through a male puberty, has a much heavier, stronger body with longer reach, faster twitch responses, all the other things that come with testosterone. And he's getting into a ring with these women, and he's destroying them, I mean, I don't know if you saw, but one woman actually said to her coach, I don't want to go out.
I'm afraid he's a man. It's a guy, yeah. It's a dude.
He's a man.
Yeah.
Take the gloves off.
Has this caused controversy in Britain? Has it been a big story in Britain?
Yeah. There's just huge levels of disgust here. And I think for the first time it's breaking through to ordinary people what is actually happening, And what I found very interesting about the whole thing is that, you may not know this, but Mark Adams, who is the guy who's been waving away all concerns, he's actually Keir Starmer's best man. He was Keir Starmer's
that's the guy who's hosting all the Olympic media conferences and looking quite uncomfortable and non-answering to quite a high level some pretty tricky questions. Yeah. So he's Keir Starmer's mate.